exciting innovative product development program within the South African Medical Research Council. And you focus on improved diagnostics, vaccines, prevention strategies, and treatments. What research scope and opportunities does this provide to young scientists?
We are a very different funding entity to the historical funding entities in the country, who tended to fund linear projects along singular disciplines in a defined area. We are actively funding multidisciplinary, multi-pronged projects. So that one of the upshots of that is we are creating a whole new breed of scientists in the country. When you used to do chemistry, you're now doing chemistry, ADME and pharmacology all in one. Very, very drug-relevant disciplines all in one. So that's the first aspect. We're funding different kinds of skill sets. We're also funding people in their mid-career. We're not focusing on MScs and PhDs because we need to retain the absorptive capacity of this country and give people jobs to go to. So in terms of relevance, the science is all cutting edge. That what we are doing. We're not funding projects that are old. We're funding things that are on the cutting edge of international science, and that keeps us sharp. So that's really our commitment. We're really focusing on mid-career people in integrated programs, which therefore creates a new kind of skill set which wasn't there beforehand, and it's a pretty exciting time to be involved.
Okay, great. Tell us more about the Technology Transfer Office in SHIP.
So we have a small technology transfer office whose job is to manage the MRC IP and by definition SHIP IP. This is a fundamental aspect of any major research organization, whether you're in pharma, whether you're in an NGO, or whether you're in another governmental research agency. It is one of the few ways that institutions can generate additional revenue to plough back into research. If you look at our counterpart in the UK, our equivalent is called the MRCT, the MRC Technologies. We have a team of about 50 people whose job it is to translate internal innovations into products and developments. So that's exactly our goal and our focus. It's a critical role for promoting our science. It's a critical role to generate revenues to plough back into research and reduce our reliance on government funding, ultimately.
Great, which brings up the next question. Having the intellectual resources is important to conduct research and obviously look into new technologies and innovations. But tell us more about the sources of funding.
Funding, we've been very lucky. At the early stages, we have a very supportive government, Department of Science, Technology and the Department of Health, putting in between them approximately 180 million rand, the DST being the lion's share of that. The Gates Foundation are coming to match that, and we've also been very lucky to get our first private sector funding. So we're in an enviable position to be able to fund projects with substantial resources. So from what that allows us to do is to fund fewer projects better and for a longer term, therefore increasing the chances of success. A key limitation that we had on when you have small budgets, you fund small projects which aren't really resourced properly. And we really believe that if we're going to make a global impact, which we should, we need to resource them properly with the right skills, the right number of people for one, and with the right technologies to support them.
Great. And lastly, tell us about SHIP in the innovation landscape.
So we are not early research. We're deliberately not focusing on basic research, with maybe one exception out of the 40 projects that we have. We are really focusing on product development. So we're looking to translate innovation derived internally or externally into life-changing implementations. So whether it's a biosignature turned into a diagnostic, or whether it's an antibody turned into a vaccine. So we really want people to come to us with antibodies, not something that to fund the discovery of an antibody. So we're really looking to take innovation and add the product development aspect to it to come up with something which we can then partner on with a pharma company or a diagnostic company to take to market.